Henri Fayot, who is the father of modern management. Not many North Americans recognize that. They talk about Taylor and the father of scientific management. And Taylor was really a neophyte compared to Henri Fayot, a Frenchman, who lived about 50 years ago. And he talked about administration, which is truly management. And he said that in the span of your activities, if you are planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, or controlling, you are managing. If you're not doing one of these things, you might be just as busy as hell, just as preoccupied as it's possible to be. You might be spinning your wheels at a low level of production or a high level of production. But if you're not doing one of these things, you're not managing. So control is the fifth, but not the least important, of the 5 elements of management. So, if you wish to manage your life, you'd better be following some of the precepts of Henri Fayot. And that is planning. You better plan your life. Organizing. You got an awful lot of work to do to organize your life. Commanding. You got to boss your life. You got to be in control. You've got to be in command. Coordinating. Well, you've got a lot of activities in your life. And if you're going to have them work together towards a common goal, you better be coordinating. And last but not least, control. So it's self-control, it's control of your plans, it's control of your management, it's control of your commanding. Control is central to your possibility for success in life.
When you think of your own dad and think of the word control, what comes to your mind first of all?
Well, I think that it stands out because it was so exceptional. My father, your grandfather, was a tremendously controlled man. But the story that stands out in my mind is one time when he lost control. And he had just been married, and he married a belle from Ottawa. And after their honeymoon, they settled down in Three Rivers, where Dad was superintendent of the Montreal Pipe Foundry, which was part of the Canada Iron Corporation, which became part of Canada Iron Foundries. Anyway, Dad and Mother were setting up house, and the heating plant for the house was a Quebec heater.
Where was this taking place?
This is in Three Rivers,
In Three
Quebec.
Rivers, yeah.
And the heating plant for the house was a Quebec heater, which is a pot-bellied cast iron stove. And to conserve, and Dad was a great engineer, and he determined that he was going to conserve all the energy he could. And so they were burning wood in this Quebec heater. But he arranged that the stovepipe went up from the Quebec heater up to nearly the ceiling along the ceiling, out into the hall, up the staircase, and then into the chimney and out. And he was busy piecing this very painfully together. If you've ever done any sheet metal work, you know how difficult this is. Anyway, he was fitting one pipe and the other pipe and the other pipe, and then tying it with some haywire up to a tack that he put in the ceiling, or a hook that he screwed in the ceiling. And he almost had, this thing must have been 75, 80 feet long by the time he had it all finished. But this was all radiator, from this Quebec heater. And he was ready to make the final junction, and the domino effect took place. Everything started to tumble down. And my father went round the house kicking pipes all over the place and using language fit for only the pipes. And my mother, oh bless her heart, who was such a lady and so ladylike, got the rudest shock of her life because she wondered, what in the world have I married? A man with this furious temper. Dad was totally out of control as far as his temper was concerned at that point in time. And I tell you that story only because it's so exceptional with your Grandpa Don.
The uniqueness.
Because the uniqueness, because he was of all the men I know, I guess, as controlled a man. He never had a drop of liquor in his life. He never had a taste of a cigarette in his life. He was a religious man. He was no prude. He enjoyed a good joke and could turn a joke on anybody that tried to turn a joke on him. A great sense of humor, an enormous zest for life, but always in control. You wanted to find out how I got here to Montreal.
Yeah, there's nothing that you said yet that would tie you here yet.
Well, when I graduated from Harvard, gosh, that was the best placement bureau in North America. Everybody in the class had a business, had job opportunities. I had several offers, every one of which meant moving to the States, living in the States, building a business career in the States. And I just happened to be prejudiced enough as a Canadian that I wanted to return to my own country. So I came to Montreal and started looking around. I was offered a job with Northern Electric. I was offered a job with Stelco, a steel company in Canada. I was offered a job with Stadler Herder. Actually, the job was with Lake Sulphite Pulp. And this was going to be a forest industries complex of mills to be built at Red Rock, Ontario, right spang alongside Nipigon. And the first mill they were going to build there was a soda mill. And so I was shipped up, I was taken on payroll, and shipped up to the Lakehead, and made some beautiful friends amongst the engineering group and some of the student group that were still just on summer work there. I was there for about 6 months. I connected up the entire construction camp, strung all the lines, set up the auxiliary power plant, the diesel generator setup, wired in the machine shop, and then through the switch to use our own power